Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me again on another episode of Health Coach for Women. And as you can see, I failed to make the announcement, but as you can see, I am now using video. Yes, I'm now using video. And so now to give you a better experience, right? And so now today, what I'd like to talk to you about is what does it mean to surrender? A lot of times, especially for us women, we hold so much, we carry so much with us, right? We hold on to so much, we do so much. And sometimes, your depression and anxiety affects more women than men. We know statistics has proven this. So because we carry so much. And a lot of times, instead of just saying and realizing with ourselves that we're not okay, we choose to pretend and we choose to uh, act like it doesn't exist. What we feeling doesn't exist. The stress that we may be going through in our relationships, the stress that we may be going through in our finances, the stress that we may be going through at our jobs, right? With our children, our families. For any, there's various reasons why things can come about, life events that can come about and cause us stress and depression and anxiety, and have us feeling very hopeless, and worthless. So, but what we have to realize is that you're not alone. You're not alone in your struggle. You're not alone in the things that you are going through or that you may be experiencing. No, that maybe doesn't help you to feel any better, right? But the point of what I'm trying to make is that your struggle is your struggle. And there is something in it for you to learn. It is something for you to go through, and you have to weather the storm and go through that. But it is also there to propel you to where you need to go, where you need to be in your life. So when I talk about surrender, I'm talking about letting go fully, right? Letting go fully of the things that we have no control over. We have no control over other things outside of ourselves. We don't have any control of that. Only thing we can do is control ourselves and how we decide to manage and how we interact and with the challenges that comes about in our lives. And it's a hard thing. It's really a hard thing because I myself have been through some hard times, right? Through some rough times, not only in my health, right? My fibroids that I had in my hormones and imbalance and relationships and finances. I've managed to overcome that. But I can remember a time when I was coming to the ending of the relationship with my son's father at the time. And it was a hard time, it was a hard time. And I think at that time, this was the year of what I believe 9/11 occurred, right? So I was dealing with that. That bothered me so much. I had a hard time with that. Um, I believe that was also the time that my favorite singer at the time was Aaliyah. So it was just like I felt like all of these things happening, and now, um, you know, and the with my relationship, and I believe even the passing of my baby nephew. This was all around the same time, if maybe in sequence, if not all at the same time. I don't remember, but I do remember that year that it was a rough time. It was a rough time, and I had to tell myself, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to feel sad anymore. I'm tired of watching the news and people are dying, and I'm tired of feeling sad. I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself, that I am not in control. I could not save a family member. I could not save my baby nephew. I could not save my own relationship, right? These were all the different things that I was battling with. And although the thought of suicide never crossed my mind, there were times that I felt like, if I die, I die. Who cares? Life sucks anyway. That was how I felt. That was what I was feeling. But it wasn't until I surrendered. It wasn't until I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore, God. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I am letting it go. And I think at the time may have been watching an episode about surrender with Oprah around that time. Maybe I watched something. It was something with Oprah, and she was talking about surrendering. And I said, yeah, that's what I need to do. I've tried everything else, right? Nothing else seems to be working. So maybe I need to try this surrender thing. And I tell you, from the moment I prayed and the moment that I let it go, it was as if a weight has been lifted. It was as if there was no more trouble. Although things were still happening around me, although things were still moving the way it had to move, um, I was okay with not being in control. I was okay with whatever the outcome was. I was okay with it. I was okay. I was fine with the outcome. I made the decision to say, it is okay. I'm okay, and I am going to move past this. This moment here, right now, of the feeling of the sadness that I was going through at the time and feeling depressed and all these different emotions and thoughts and everything, I had to let it go. And the moment I did that, excuse me, it was as if a weight has been lifted. It was as if the burden was really literally lifted from me. So when I say surrender, I'm saying surrender wholeheartedly, by just letting go and knowing that you are not alone in the process, knowing that you are divinely guided. You're divinely guided, and the Creator has so much in store for you. There's so much that can be given to you, and what you can have, right? And I'm not even talking about the superficial things, right? That's one thing, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about that feeling of peace, that feeling of inner peace within yourself, that feeling of inner peace, and really coming to a place of really loving who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of who you are, all of the imperfections, coming to that place where you can be okay with being you, being authentically you, and surrendering and not worrying about other people's thoughts and ideas about you, what other people have to say, right? You can't worry about those things. You can't worry about what other people think of you, and what they may feel and their views. And everyone has an opinion. Everybody is entitled to having their own opinion. And so what's important is that inner peace that you can get from yourself within. That is the most, I don't even know the right word to say. That is the most elevating thing. It's the most wonderful thing, the most beautiful thing that you can experience. And there's nothing better than that. As we go through life, life is going to teach us a lot of lessons, a lot of life lessons. We are going to go through a lot of different things that will impact us in a negative way, that may impact us in a positive way. We're going to go through those things. That is the pattern in the journey of life. And everything that we think we know, we really do not know. right? I can't speak. We really don't know. We don't know that things can change. Things can change. And those things that can change, that we have control of, it begins in here. It begins in the mind, in the brain. And so telling yourself, you know, the same old story of the same old story of sadness and your journey and the things that you've been through in life, right? Well, it's time to create a new story. It's time to change that into something positive. Change that into something positive that's going to bring us to this happy place where we're no longer telling that story. And if we're telling that story, we're telling it with a smile because now I have overcame that, right? I remember, when I was going through losing things and been through bankruptcy, you know, I was ashamed of my story. I was ashamed, like, how did I get here, right? How did I end up here? Me, how did this happen to me? Someone who thought they were good with money, someone who was able to bail herself out when she needed things, right? And didn't ever want to rely on anyone financially to give me anything, right? Here was someone, where I was able to establish, not only having this good government job, good city job, and earning a good bit of money from that, and being able to buy a couple of houses, right? How did I end up here? Bankruptcy. How did I end up losing it all? And I can look at, and I realized that it was based on the decisions I made. I realized that I made bad choices, right? I realized that I made bad choices, but I'm so happy. I can sit back now and say that I'm so happy that I did it. I'm so happy that it played out the way that it played out because I needed to become. I needed to become who I was meant to be. And so for you, that may not be your journey, right? That may not be your journey, but that was my journey. So I can only speak from my journey, my perspective of what I've been through. So for me, it was overcoming that, and it was the what I found in that, the humility that I found in that was the most powerful thing that I could have encountered, that I could have endured. Because someone else could have said, to heck with this, right? I can out myself. I could take some sleeping pills. I can do, I could just say, to heck with it. I'm just going to go kill myself. But no, I mean, I had my pity parties, right? I had my pity. Oh, why me? Oh, why? Why do I have to go through this? How did I end up here? Why did this have to happen? Oh, if I only did this. Oh, if I only that. All these shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. All of these things. And I was like, okay, well, it happened. I'm over it. I'm over it. But the life lesson that I've got from it, the spiritual elevation and the grace and humility that came through that trial of and tribulations, through those trials and tribulations that I went through, it was worth it. It was worth it. There was so much that I learned about me and who I am. And there's so much that you can learn about who you are and where you fit, right? Where do you fit in, right? How can I serve? How can I make an impact? What my purpose, my destiny, you know, what it is. And again, your story may not be like my story. Your story may be something else. You know, I had a lot of baggage and issues also that impacted and affected my relationships. And wow, It was coming into this moment of discovering she, who is me, who I am. So when I say surrender, surrender to everything that you have no control over. Surrender to everything that you think that you are in control of, because you are not. You are not in control. Yeah, you are in control of some things. But if that man wants to be with another woman, it has nothing to do with your own self worth of who you are. You know, it has nothing to do with you. And if that job decided they wanted to go with another candidate other than you, maybe, maybe, not, it's possible. Maybe you need some tweaking here and there on your resume and interviewing skills, right? But maybe they found someone else who was more qualified. It doesn't necessarily mean that the issue is you. It doesn't mean that necessarily. So we're so wondering why. Why didn't he want me? Why don't he want me? Why didn't he choose me? Why didn't they choose me for this job? You know, it just is. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. And those things that you can't control, you cannot wallow in a pity party over those things. You cannot wallow in and worrying about the things you have no control of. And a part of the thing with anxiety, right? One of the things with anxiety is that we worry, those people with anxiety worry about the things into the future. And finances is one of them, right? That concern of finances. What if? What if I was to lose my job? What if I didn't have the income to maintain this lifestyle? What if? Right? We keep wondering about what if. But what if that place of where you're worrying, what if it was something where it had more opportunities of something great, something purposeful, something meaningful for your life? And so, and that's why it's important to live in the now. You see the book, Living in the Now? You have to live in the present moment. Be present. Being present, not worrying about yesterday. Forget yesterday. Forget last week, last month. We're in today. We are in today, right? Tomorrow is not here yet. Yesterday is gone, past tense. Let's focus on right here, right now, today, the present moment, the present moment, and enjoying the present moment, enjoying who we are, who we can become. Look at the possibilities of who we can become. It's so important. It's so important. And when you can come to that place, when you can come to that place of inner peace, it's a wonderful and amazing feeling. And I know, you know, a lot of people who may have experienced going through a divorce, right? Who've been through a divorce, going through a divorce, it's a tough time, right? You're dealing with so much, right? And there's so much that's coming, right? And your whole everything has to change now, right? How your whole maybe downsizing to a smaller place, maybe just getting up and relocating and starting over somewhere else. You know, um, it's the journey is it's a journey, right? It may not be as pleasant, or for some it could be so rewarding. And you know, people do divorce parties now, so it could be freeing and it could be the best thing for you, where you're just celebrating, you're so happy to be done and free. So if that's you, kudos to you, right? But if it's not you, if it's not you and you're one of those people who are worrying about your self-worth, you know, and feeling worthless and hopeless, know that God has something greater for you in your life. You have to want it. What you want, it's already there. You have to see it and you have to believe it. You have to see it and you have to believe it for yourself, that the goodness and the abundance of the things that you want is already there. And I've said this before, I've said these things before, but you have to come to this place, to the place of surrendering. And when you surrender, there's so many doors and windows of opportunities that opens up for you when you surrender, when you open your heart, when you let go, when you are not judging yourself, when you decided that you no longer want to experience and tell the same story. You want to create a new story. And so this is what's led me on my journey. This is what's led me on my journey into coaching and healing. I had to go through my own healing, right? I had to go through my own healing in my health, in my relationship, in my finances, my own healing with my past, things from the past. I had to go through my own healing and to forgive myself, right? Not only asking for forgiveness, but to forgive myself. Forgive myself for the bad choices that I made. Forgive myself for the wrong that I may have done. Forgive myself. I had to do that. I had to do that. And when you can come to that place wholeheartedly and not judge yourself so harshly, I tell you, it's the most amazing thing and the most freeing thing that you can do. And so surrender. That's what I want you to do. I want you to surrender wholeheartedly. Surrender to the things you cannot control. Surrender to um, the things that you can't control and that are not, you're not putting yourself in this place where you want to stay in this place of this pity party, if that makes any sense. If you don't want to stay in this place, you want to have a new story, you want to create a new story. And so you want to start healing in your body, you want to start healing in your mind, in your heart. There's things that you need to do, right? And asking for guidance and being still. You want better health, start doing the things that you need to do for better health. Slowly make those changes. Slowly make those changes. And so that's why for me, as a health coach, you know, I'm helping you as a holistic health coach, spiritual coach. I'm helping you not just in the area of your health, right, eating right, but with your spirituality, right, your spirituality, and and who you are in the world and how you can show up in the world in a positive way. I don't care if you uh, don't have, it's not about having 20,000 followers, 50,000. I don't care about any of that stuff, right? So the more people you have, the more exposure. Yes, of course, I understand the marketing part of that, the business part of that. But I'm telling you, when you can reach out and you can touch someone and someone can inbox you or share with you a message how you really help them during their time, during their hard time, they're battling with something. It's a rewarding feeling. It is truly a rewarding feeling. And when you can work with your clients and help bring them to this place, a better place than where they were before, and they can see, um, have this new vision for themselves. They have this new vision that before they didn't have. And so this is how I make my life meaningful and impactful. This is how I do it. I don't care if you never book a call with me. Some people are going to just watch my YouTube channel or listen to the podcast and may never book a call, but I know someone is being helped. I know that the message is getting through to someone some way, somehow, you know. And when I get those messages, I'm appreciative and I'm grateful and I'm thanking you for listening because I'm able to do what I feel is my purpose, my soul purpose, my purpose driven life, so to speak. And so, and you have it also. You have this life that is full of beautiful things to uh, to come to you, and but you have to be open to receive it. You have to be open to receive it. So if you're battling and you're in that place and you're in that dark place and you're struggling and you have a hard time or you're ignoring you're pretending to not see the patterns, right? And due to past traumas, right? Past experiences from childhood that things play into our lives in adulthood, right? Um, it will come to play. If you're experiencing those things and you know that those things are coming from your past experience, or you just feel like something is blocking, something is, I know this is what I want, but, or maybe I don't know what I want, but I just feel like there's something else I need to be doing. There's something else that I need to experience. Um, Remember, I am here. I love and support you. I am just a woman who choose to not be ordinary, although I'm ordinary in the sense where I'm just like any other woman, right? But I'm choosing to live this an extraordinary life that has nothing to do with wealth, right? And if the wealth is part of that, and you experience that wealth, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But I'm talking about the wealth of that inner peace, the wealth of having your health, the wealth of having the positive mindset, the wealth of being able to weather the storm and go through life and its challenges every day. There's success in that. You have people that's out there taking their lives, right? Taking their lives and taking their children with them, not even giving their children a chance, right? And it's so sad. It's so sad that a person can give up on life. And I'm not judging anyone who has attempted suicide, right? That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that when you feel like that, you need to not keep it in. You need to reach out and speak to someone. You need to get in touch to the crisis text line. Or there's so many different um, resources out there to speak to someone, just for someone to listen to you. What I'm saying is, you have so much to offer. And then if you have children, you decide to take your kids' life, well, they never had a chance. And who are you to make that decision? So I want to wrap it up here and just close it out where be willing to surrender, be willing to let go of the things that you can't change, be willing to create a new story for yourself, be willing to take the chance on yourself for something greater, for something better for your life, right? Where you can now, maybe now you found your passion, your mission, your purpose to help someone else. So I want to thank you so much for listening in and viewing and being a part of the Health Coach for Women family, the podcast, my 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 team. I thank you and I appreciate you. Um, I'm just taking the time out today to say thank you, and also to for anyone who's going through a hard time. Surrender and let it go. Surrender and be at peace with whatever the outcome, because you have to know that your time, this too shall pass, and it's a temporary, it's only a temporary situation. Thank you so much for listening, viewing. I love and appreciate you, and much gratitude and blessings to you all. Until next time, bye for now.